Corsairs. Jelizerk engaging the Corsairs hardcore with just Mulus, and the Corsairs now hovering above the Dragoons, not doing anything, just trying to suck up hits, I guess. They've actually managed to break this door down, but there are just too many Sunkens and random stuff flying around. Both those Corsairs are almost dead. A couple more hits on those Corsairs will finish them off, but man, S2's had to pull all of his drones off the line. Those two Dragoons doing a lot more damage than I expected. I didn't see the Zealots in there as well. If that Sunken goes down, that's going to be horrible. The Sunken goes down. Well, actually, that's not too big of a deal. I didn't see that there were Zerglings coming in to back up, so the Zerglings are going to be able to take care of that Dragoon. But in the meantime, they've managed to do a lot more damage than I expected to S2's base. I did not think they were going to be able to break that ramp, and eventually they did manage to somehow break that ramp, even though there were 3 or 4 Sunkens on top of that ramp. So very good play by SoO and Jelizerk. Very good teamwork there. And wow, SoO attacking again with more Zealots here, following up as well. He hasn't had a chance to rebuild the Sunkens yet. The Corsairs are out of position. Jelizerk going in and attacking Mujuk's supply lines. If he can pick off probes and then run away once the Corsairs show up, that'll be horrible. And Scourge is chasing away one of the Corsairs. Jelizerk is completely owning Mujuk's supply line. Well, actually, he ran some of his probes away, but he only saved probably about half of his probes, maybe a little bit more. In the meantime, though, things are looking bad for S2 as well. If S2 was up and running, Mujuk might have been able to hold out with that harassment, but I think this is game, folks, because S2 is basically out of the game now. He's not managed to hold this off. He's run his drones away, hoping that Mujuk can save his base and then he'll be able to run his drones back. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's just too much stuff in his base. He does not have a Spire anymore. I think he may have even canceled it before. Either that or it got killed. But his base getting completely overrun, and Mujuk just doesn't have the forces to save his base right now. If he did, then that might be another possibility, but he's committed so much to air. He's got those Corsairs. It's going to be really difficult for Jelizerk to do anything now because there's so many Corsairs in the air right now. But, and with Disruption Web as well. Wow. Okay, they're going to have Disruption Web pretty soon. But, yeah, his lair goes down. That's pretty much game for S2. It looks like, oh, he might have been trying to make another base out there. Critically, Jelizerk has one Zergling blocking that base, and Mujuk just doesn't have the forces on the ground to move out of his base to even kill that one Zergling, basically. So, because he's gone so heavily for those air forces, hoping that S2 could take the ground with Zerglings, but it's just not going to happen now. Mujuk just doesn't, yeah, and it looks like S2 is even going to get eliminated, and 2 versus 1 is just not going to happen. This game is basically over. Usually the one player that's left tries to fight, but in the long run, it's just not going to happen. Corsairs need to come back here. More drones getting taken out. I'm sorry, more probes getting taken out there. The Corsairs out of position again, and S2 has been eliminated. S2 forced to watch over Mujuk's shoulder to watch him slowly get killed off. Now, the only thing that he could possibly do, this is what he's going to try and do. He wants to take the win for his team. If SKT1 takes this game, then they take the entire match. So that's why he's fighting so hard for this. But, oh, nice. Jelizerk's putting up his Mulus. He loses 2. He's going to lose maybe 1 more. So that's kind of bad. But he's got nowhere. He should really run his Mulus back over to SoO's base, maybe. But yeah, so now it's basically going to be kind of a Protoss versus Protoss for just a moment, because the Corsairs are going to be able to deal with anything Jelizerk can do. But Jelizerk, I wouldn't be surprised if he either well, he might switch to ground forces, or he might even just skip ground forces and just go mass air and just try and keep Mujuk creating Corsairs using Scourges and what have you. And if he could keep doing that, then Mujuk will be so bad off, he won't have any forces on the ground, and then SoO will be able to just walk in and stomp all over him. Basically, the only chance Mujuk has is to get some Templar tech, get that second base, because then even though it's 1 versus 2, if he has 2 bases and both of his opponents combined have 2 bases, then that'll be relatively even in the short term. But yeah, I really don't think it's going to happen. It looks like SoO might even be setting up a second base. And yeah, Mujuk going in here, disruption webbing the spore colonies, very nicely done. Killing off overlords. He's going to keep Jelizerk from making anything for a little while there. Although all July is going to need to do is pump out some overlords and then pump out some units there. Wonder if Jelizerk might switch over and get some Hydralisks or something like that. Might be a good idea. But yeah, in the long run, this game is pretty much over. So, well, it looks like they're going to prolong it for a little while, though. Yeah, Mujuk is just not even able to take that expansion. There's just nothing he can do. He can't move out of his base. Now there's Dragoons to hold off the Corsairs. And so the Mutalisks are going to be able to do a little bit of damage. It looks like they may have even died, actually. It looks like the Mutalisks died. I don't see where they are now. That's kind of curious. He may have run them away as well. Let's see. Hydralisk Den is up for July Zerg, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some Hydralisks, maybe even Lurker drop or something like that. Sort of a low economy Lurker drop. I don't know. Try and finish Mujuk off. But yeah, Mujuk is basically pinned in his base. All it is it's a matter of time. It's gonna be a while probably. Mujuk, Protoss with a ramp can just hold out and hold out and hold out. But yeah, it's so it might be a while, but I think that Mujuk is doomed in the long run. We'll see though. In any case, yeah, so he's going to try and get that. He has his expansion going now. Well, he's got it rather warping in. Whether or not he can actually keep it is a different story. The fact that he has been able to hold off July's Mutalisks means that he has been able to mass up a decent ground force. He picked off the observers of SoO, and so managed to drive SoO's forces back with some Dark Templar. So he's actually managed to get himself a little bit of breathing room here. And oh, July's going to snipe the Templar. Snipe the Templar. Snipes one Templar. No, he doesn't even snipe that Templar yet, but he's still running away. Finally, the Templar goes down. I guess those Templar didn't have enough energy for a storm or anything like that. The Corsairs caught out in the field, not able to do anything against two Mutalisks. And those aren't new Mutalisks. Those are the same Mutalisks he had before. I'm pretty sure he may have made two new Mutalisks. I'm not sure. But now, July doing some harassment. He sees exactly what Mujuk has. SoO coming to back up here. Corsairs coming in, but the Dragoons are going to be able to keep those Corsairs away too much. And now July has gone for those Hydralisks, indeed. So it's only a matter of time for Mujuk, indeed. Those Hydralisks joining the battle will turn the tide of things. And wow, Mujuk putting up a great fight, putting up an incredible fight, using Disruption Webbing all of the ground units to try and hold things out, try and make those cannons a little bit more effective. Just using some really good spells and some really good tactics here to try and hold things off, but it's just not enough. And the force is obviously not dead. Oh man, there's a lot of storm going off there, but it's just not going to be enough. Yeah, Mujuk, as soon as the Nexus goes down, Mujuk GG's. So a very good game by July Zerg and SoO, taking game 3, keeping STX alive in this matchup. It is now 2-1. It's going to go to game 4. And again, that will be a must-win situation for STX. Huashan versus Midas, I believe. And wow, so this is becoming really, really crazy. Crazier and crazier by the game. Very much looking forward. All right, I'm gonna move on to game 4 here and see if STX can keep themselves alive to an ace match. Thank you guys for listening.